Yes.
I'm in this. It's an acacia. It's an acacia. But now we have tried to miniaturize it.
To make it small.
I make it smaller, but they use another terminology. They use bonsai, not bonsai. You can miniaturize any big, even the baobab, even after.
What do you do?
Yeah.
How
But
do you
this one
manage
now,
it?
what I did now, I just got a seedling and put in a container. This one is reasonably big. And the right soil type for it to grow. Okay? And then now I started now growing. And then now the roots were just coiling and coiling and coiling and coiling. And
It will not grow big.
yeah. So this should have been, say, almost
That. Yeah.
I mean, almost. Yeah. And then now because this is what
Oh, so it means because the roots are confined,
we are confined.
it's likely not to grow
Yeah,
very
no,
fast.
yeah. So the nutrients just getting just to sustain it. See? You can see already now it's gone, it's having. Look at it. But it's still not. Look at this. It's still starting to have thorns already.
Yeah.
And just still.
And it is still.
Still tiny. But this is grows. This one grows naturally. I mean, this one grows naturally. This one grows naturally. This one grows naturally. Yeah, so we'll be adding it. I still get more. Just keep on adding. If I find out having another herb, I just simply fill it in. Yeah.
And what is the source of the cascade? So did you happen to buy or is that?
I just had one that
What
I've got I've got now the offshoot now.
Okay.
Yeah. I have now just plant them. Like this one now, this is we got it from the mother plant. This one, I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Having others growing, look at it. Growing. Growing. See? Yeah.
So I missed out on this one.
That?
It's this one. Which one is this?
No, this is the same. This is already flowering. The same. This is one.
It's called what?
Stevia.
Ah, Stevie. Oh, yes.
What you call it? Mesh crop. Then we have, look at bone. This one. And this is the most important thing. What is this one used? This is carbonized. And this can be carbonized. And then now can be turned into, you can blend it to be turned into tricalcium phosphate. And then this one now, this, and then you add organic, organic manure rich in nitrogen. We have got a 3 combos. You have got calcium, then you have got phosphorus and potassium. Then also you are having your DAP. Because what is DAP? DAP is nothing but 18 what? 18 nitrogen, and then 14 what? Phosphorus and zero potassium. So you can create your own. And then you can now experiment. Look at that. And you just talking about the soil which are available. But now the only challenge now is there's a disconnect now. You cannot get to this unless you have that technology. Unless you are able to carbon. And that means now we have not to run through people how to do carbonization, bones here and about, so that now they cannot make use of those resources that are available. What else not we have now? We have this. Okay, this is okay. What we have here, this is what do you call it? This wood. Wood. This is wood.
Yes.
Yeah, this again can be carbonized, be turned into bio. What else do we have? You talk about the soil which are available. We have this is bacard. But there are those people in areas that they are growing together. Which again I use so at least wherever you are you can note. And any valuable material. Okay, now look at this. What do you have here? This is termites. Talking about termites. And this is almost a complete fertilizer. Why? Because those are, those termites, when they're in the ground burrowing, now they're collecting what, in the process they collect some valuable soil nutrients, both macro and micro. And then now they do them into this mound. And then now we have a resource that can be used. So this one now you can use it for bulking the compost. Because already now it's also reached, it's got something to offer. What else now do we have? Yeah, so and then we have, so we are looking at whether then this is organic what? Organic liquid fertilizer. And what is the source? Oh, this is our source. We have
Titonia?
Titonia. Yeah, so this would ferment for 7 days. And this one you can just apply, to your crop. And also, it is a biopesticide, particularly for fall armyworms. So, after 7 days, you just get a little.
So the second plant is which one?
This is Diphrosia again. I'll talk about this one later. Just get this one and just put a demo now. Let's fertilize that.
Okay, then in terms of like how do you know how much in terms of preparation?
We have got different dilutions. I guess you cannot say we have tried say 1 to 1 to 3, 1 to 4. But you cannot be experimenting. I see the one that is potent. Yeah, so there's not really accepted. For me. Now this one. Now let's assume that now I measure this level. Now we have polyamine. Put the number just simplify. Look at it. Normally they start not. And it's quite effective. Look at that.
Okay.
And then at the same time now, so at the same time now it is a fertilizer. It's just rich in nitrogen. So you're killing 2 birds with one.
Oh, okay.
And then now we encourage people to plant Titonia, because again it's now still talking about now the pest control.
Yes.
What we have now, we have this. And remember when I was young, there is this destroying of killing fish in ponds and rivers. So what they did now, they used to just pound this, and then add a little water and then just pour in a flowing stream. And then it caught now the water surface, and then now there's no oxygen. You just see fish now popping up. Yeah. So when you want to control, pests and also get a special, fungicide, we use a combo of these, Titonia and Diphrosia. We dry under shade, and just blend and add some little water and then just spray. And it's quite effective as a fungicide. This is what we use for controlling fungicide on our cucumber. You see now they look quite green. Yeah. So here we don't compare organic and inorganic, because now here is 100% organic application. Yeah. So whatever you see now, for example, this is now the efficacy. This is the result from pure what? Pure organic. Okay. Now we have this powder. if you're driving from Nairobi, get a place called Kariandu.
Mm.
We have what you call diatomite
Mm.
mines. They will call it now diatomaceous earth. And now this one now is interesting, completely organic now, for controlling those soft bodies. What I mean, you just simply look at it. You just simply look at it.
Oh.
So what it does now, for example, now is it absorbs all the fluids from the what from the insect. So, and then it dies off.
Okay. So are there specific maybe insects or pests that
Those which are soft, soft body.
Mm.
Insect. Quite effective. Okay.
like the likes of aphids?
Aphid, the likes of aphid. I've even seen her controlling young, lady, what you call, ladybugs.
Ladybugs. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite good. Now again in Viga, we have these animals called molas.
Yes.
Molas, the burrow under the ground, and they devastate now the tubers, wheat, cassava. And then people have come up with all kinds of ideas not to control. Others say you use cow dung, you use water, all kinds of concoctions. But me, being a biologist now, I want to keep them. I don't want to destroy that species. But at the same time, I don't want them now to destroy my crop. So what do I do now? Then you look at now the behavior of the animal. How does it behave? It burrows in the ground.
Yes.
Say after what? Say we're talking about what is there? About 16 years from the ground level, about 16. So when you're planting, I think it's when they get into their pathway. What do you expect to find? Nothing, isn't it? They will eat it all, and then you start casting these animals as destructive. Yeah, me, I want to have them. I don't want them to go to disappear, but still don't want them not to mess up. Let them eat a little, and then we just come up with a very, very simple technology. Yeah, soil mount. Okay, then you have your soil mount. That means nothing, but now it's high enough that when you have your tubers growing, they will not get into their pathway. Perhaps they could just eat a few here and there, but now you have the animal itself at the same time what you have got your tuber.
Sorry, I think I missed that point. So how do you control them more?
Oh, okay. There are so many ways because they borrow some people. What they do, they find where the hole is. For their cow dung, all those kinds of things.
Yes.
The whole idea is to kill them.
Yes.
But for me, I want now to balance it in because we are farming with the nature, because I've got the right to live. Isn't it? How do I keep them without necessarily destroying all my crops? And this is just a very simple technology. Just plant your tubers on a high mount. Okay? So now we shall have now, where do I have now tubers in case of sweet potatoes? Perhaps they don't go beyond 1 foot. And this is far above now their pattern. But there could be a few bigger ones that could just get into their pathway that they can eat, but now you save more than 80% of their crop. At the same time, you're not killing them. We are talking about opportunity. Just look at it. Can we create what we call agroecological entrepreneurs? What we have, things like growing azolla for feeding our birds. We are talking about making organic fertilizer by recycling organic waste. We call it market waste. That can make money. We are talking about a production of BSF, black soldier food. That's a product of recycling. Recycling. So we have opportunities for this. For this young. People complain we are not farming. because now we don't have enough. But for me, that's not necessary. You would find a family at least having half an acre. And to me, that's a lot of land that can be used. When you come now with smart, what called smart, I mean, smart agriculture. I mean, things like vertical garden. Look at it. I say 4 days would be enough now, just now, to grow enough sukuma wiki for feeding family. If you do more on a very small piece of land, then now we are talking about now selling the excess, the excess produce. So very small areas can be highly productive. Just look at how much we have. Just look at it. And again, so that means now this, and this is a product. This is a product of organic fertilizer. Now you can now see now the efficacy. Look now they grow faster. And then you see now the ground now even tackling. Yeah. So this can be done, and also beans. These are special variety from.
So does it have a purpose?
So what?
This outer.
Yeah, this is just now for holding your soil in.
Okay.
Yeah, because this now can be done. You can even do it on a pavement. You don't have to necessarily plant in a summer. Now, and you can do so many things. Look at there's something I want to show you. We're talking about look at this. Look at this. How many crops do you have in this? Who can count the number of crops in this place? How many? Every is appearing about the Just count different things that is about Nakulik. No, this is one of them. Just this is one. Now that's two. What else now do you have? I mean, this is three. Look at this manago. This is four. Isn't it? That's why. Just see how much we have. The variety we have in a great. Here now we are looking at another example. We are looking at the food sovereignty. Can we control our own feeding program by introducing as many things as possible? So at least now it's not monoculture. We are having a variety. You have as many varieties as possible. So at least there's something for your mouth at any time. Yeah? At any time. And here we can now this is what we have. We have the money. And then sometimes you find the production is very low. And then now the land has been raped, still over and over again, and it is really pumped with lots of water. I mean, lots of chemicals. And then it ends up by not producing anything. And then you find people now starting now, they're now looking for government support. When there's no maize now, there's war, there's man-to-man. When people, of course, can eat other things. What about introducing variety? Can we eat other things, not necessarily mind? Or can we eat other burgers? I'll give you an example. Look at this. This is a black jug, Spiders spiral, and this is a vegetable.
Oh, it's not
And it's grown commercially in Malawi. Look at this. But when you tell people, eat this, they say, no, it cannot be eaten. But now we have to come up with another new feeding habits. At least now, when something is missing, at least there's something available. There's always a substitute, and then we cannot run of what we need. There's a very interesting plant here that I got from. It is from Mexico. This is a tomato. Now I brought this.
This is a tomato.
I brought this thing here how many years back? About 40 years back. It just now. Then it disappeared. Then I found now again. Now it has just gone up. This one is not attracted by any disease. Oh, it's called tomatilla. Tomatilla. Look at this. Come and see what interesting.
So does it get?
So it has a tomato in it. A tomato. in yeah, so this one I want to get now to mature, then I can get one.
And you got it, you said from Mexico.
This is actually from Mexico. From Mexico. And then again, when I look at this again, oh, this is, just look at the growth using umbrella. This is quite, look at the stem.
Which plant is this?
This is again, this is not yet. Yeah, corn. This is a tube, but it has no carbohydrate. And you can use it as a fruit. You call it underground food. We get some for you to test now. Look at this now, and look at now the strength of our fertilizer. Just look at the stem. So now look at.
And it is purely organic, just by adding the organic manure.
We have to wear our organic, just call it organic fertilizer.
Around.
In fact, this one I got it from Messina.
Eh, okay.
Yeah, there's somebody not growing them, but it originally from Mexico. Okay? Yeah.
Ah, this is interesting.
Yeah. So, we just talked about feeding our people how as much as possible, but using any technologies available with okra. Just look at it. This is giant okra. And I like it. This is just go. Walking around the street, you find those vendors.
They are very expensive.
Yeah, but I've got another variety now. I mean, I've got a variety. Yeah. But this one can grow up to 60.
Oh, you also eat the leaf?
Yeah, the leaf, yeah.
I thought it's only the...
It's just like Miranda.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, we are talking about now again what we have, but it's not eaten. Like this potato vine. Go to other countries, the Uganda, they eat them. But here people will not. They say, no, we cannot eat that. But look at it. The only thing we can just find out, I mean, what are now the nutritional value. So nature is now giving us all, isn't it all what we need? What we need. Okay, obviously. Let's continue now. How many from here to there, about how many people? Talk about it. You're saying about 3 by 3 meters now. Can sustain a family. I mean, at the order. Just look at that. That's manana. I mean, growing. They're on ordinary method. Growing pumpkin on training. Yeah? That means there's a small space now you can grow lots of pumpkin. Just look from here and then we are using that. We are using that. And just see how many pumpkins we have. In fact, we harvest. Wow. We have harvested. Now you tell me, can you need something to? Can your family need something to? No. Yeah, I mean, look at that thing container. So we put there some organic fertilizer up, we fill it, and then now, as it swells now, then we just.
Wow, yeah.
Really, that's interesting. I don't like what it came to us. So what we are trying not to do, because there's so much that has been said about so much academic stuff on agroecology. It's just too much. But again, you get lost in that sea of agroecological information. But we're trying to get for nothing. This is what the history is. I mean, not for the scientists. What about for this man? What is it for this young people? The young people, they just find something to make money from.
Yeah, we are looking at the diverse, and we are looking at the people. You are looking for that ordinary farmer. You are looking for that person who is enabled differently.
Yes.
You are looking at the youth, and you are looking at the children.
Yes.
What benefit are they going to get from what we are doing?
Yeah.
That's what we want you to address.
Yeah. So we are just talking about now. We are talking about now. We talk about food sustenance. I mean, for example, you can grow that enough to feed, that enough to sell. So you have a stable what? You have a stable family. What about now this young man here? because now we don't have enough jobs. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. The people have left school. Isn't it? What else can you do? Just becoming a robber or now getting on a border. So, well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for people not to ride border, but you find you are losing a generation. Because after border, what next?
If everybody goes to border,
What is it now?
what will they eat?
What would they eat? But then, like this one now left school about 2 years back.
Yeah.
Still a young man, not even 20 years. You see, he does not even have a year. But you see, now we have not taught him the art. Now you can survive anywhere in this world because now you've been taught skills that are not taught in
school.
In school.
Yeah.
Even at the university level.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people come and they find out, hey, where did you train? And the same question that they all ask me. Ulijifunza wapi? But now, knowledge, I always tell them knowledge in my DNA. That's why I cannot do anything. But of course, I've got a basic training. I mean, I could just, because now things cannot just happen out of the mother. School is the best. And I'll talk to you about my foundation. That one is another long story. That now, just look at the major things. Just see how we planted this cassava. Look at that. Look at that mound. Yeah, but if it were further, say, planted now here down, what would have happened? We'd find absolutely nothing. But we'll have had perhaps now bigger ones which have gone further down, only those have few have been eaten, but still you have said almost 85.
Yeah, you saved 85%.
You have indeed.
Yeah.
And then now you have your animals, you have got your cassava, don't you? It's a happy balance.
Yeah. Would you tell us, because you've done the mounds, you planted the cassava, and just at the edge, we have got the Froscia and the Tithonia.
Okay, now
what is the advantage of having
this one now is a grammar now? Well, we planted this cassava one or the other we have in that area.
Yes.
But let me address now the Tithonia. But also now they claim that now Tithonia also controls now the motor, particularly those the roots. Isn't it? As poison. Yeah. And that's why we are planting. But of course now Tithonia, Froscia and the Tithonia because another advantage. Remember, we had the combo, Tithonia and what do you call this?
the Froscia?
Tithonia, the Froscia again combo can be used now as a fungicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something that has got its own strength here, and then now you can combine with the other one to create another extra strength.
Yeah. So in summary about increasing the food is and controlling the pests and the diseases. We make the mounds and we plant the tuber crops.
Yeah.
Whether it is sweet potatoes, whether it is cassava or anything.
Yeah.
Now, when we kind of bring in the Froscia, Tithonia, it is going to add another value.
Yes.
So here you've saved about 80% of the crop without being eaten by the moths because of you brought it up beyond, above where the pathways. So
the pathways, yes.
then when you introduce the Tithonia roots will also poison the molds. Yeah. And then you have both the Froscia and Tithonia. When the leaves fall, they also act as the fungicides.
It's high in nitrogen.
So high in nitrogen, they also act as fungicides, and therefore your crop is kind of safe.
It flourishes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a natural way of now, like now this, what you are explaining just happens by default. Because I not planned to have cassava, isn't it? I not designed this system.
Yeah.
But indeed, by just growing there, and then we have this and that, and then now, of course, now it's caught up in a good act.
In a good act. But then we now need to look at this and escalate so that the farmers know that if you do this system, you are going to. It's a sword which kills so many.
Yeah, the double.
Yeah, it is more than double now. It kills so many things.
I'll give an example now. You see, now, you see these as a green fertilizer, and also as animal they start laughing. They say, that old man has got nothing to say. He's mad. Amekuwa na wazimu kwa sababu umetuambia tupande hii. This thing now they're just growing. And interestingly, in Vihiga now, this stuff is now disappearing. You only find it in Luanda. But I told them, just have your own look at that. When you got now just in your
Yeah. If you are feeding rabbits, you cut it and give it.
Yeah.
It's animal feed.
Yes.
At the same time, you can use it in your farm.
Not only that, also it's quite effective against now nematodes.
Yeah.
You know what you use it now when you're doing bananas.
Yes.
Yes. Just cut it
And
find
put
them here.
down. Yeah.
And then only plant out of bananas comes there. No.
So what it means is if I am planting the potatoes,
Yes.
I have to dig it down.
Yes.
And then the nematode will disappear.
Yeah. So
it gets nitrogen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's getting now. It's a big actor. You know, it provides more to the to the plant.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So we enjoy look at this now. Yeah. This is a product of it. Just for free. Just come and pick this. Even she used to hate this young lady. I used to hate this. Now she loves it. But if you tell her, please eat this, apana, hiyo ni mbaya, itakuua, who told you? But now when she sees that one, she just starts cooking that thing.
So what it means, from what you are doing, there is a lot of food,
yes,
which people, because of the perceptions,
yes,
the culture do not allow to eat this. The culture has set certain vegetables that you have to eat the mito, you have to eat the navus, you have to eat what you call the amaranth or terere. But when you come to this blackjack, no.
And that's why I've got my special definition of they call this weed, isn't it?
Yeah.
I call it a weed is a plant whose virtues are known.
They are unknown.
In this country, but when you go to Malawi, it's no longer weed. Because
it's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable.
Yeah.
So how can you start National Grammar now introducing this information to the people? Like now, change of their gastronomic requirement. Can they eat something other than ugali and kundi? And this now calls for various public awareness programs like field days, where you can have this thing now cooked and people try.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm doing that.
Now, Mzee Mukoko,
yes.
A question now comes in our training as agriculturalists, at the primary level, at the high school level, weed is defined as a plant which grows in a place where it is not fertile.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
But don't you think now it is high time that we reverse the situation and say a weed is a plant whose virtues are not yet known? And then it can be now defined even in school so that people know. Because next time you get it and you say it is a weed and yet people are eating, so it is no longer a weed.
Like the other thing also which I think which is now subject now to science. Why are some of the so-called weeds, why are so resilient? Why do they grow without any input? They just do very well. What's special about them? And this is something I've been trying now to make a compost purely from weeds. Can you still tap those enzymes? Something very special. What's special about them that we don't know? That now it should be subjected now to scientific study. What is it? So this is something again now we are now looking at. I mean, all types of the so-called weeds we have in this place now. We are trying now to do the composting. And then we can look at what do they contain, and then now we can now get also analyze all this. I mean, all the parameters. And these are where now partnering now with scientists now, people like Dr. Eric, they know the work of that, isn't it? Yeah. But for me, we are trying just to identify, to flash innovation ideas now. And you can lead now to a doctoral study. Yeah. This is an idea, please run away with it. Turn it to science. We are not science. Me, I don't want to be a and I will never be one. Just as simple.
Just an innovator.
Well, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, you are coming up with it and tell somebody run with this. He goes and does his magics and come up with and
By
say
the way,
this is.
I had forgotten now one thing now. We are going to set up a small area now for schools, for CBC.
Yeah.
Yeah? For CBC. So that now we can have the teacher coming now.
With the children.
With the children now.
Yeah. Yes.
And then now we'll have such experiments and things that can be done and grow. So those kids now will be following up with their own things until it matures.
So what it means is we are preparing the next
The
generation
next generation.
to
Yeah.
come to adopt the agroecological principles.
Yes.
And to develop our soil.
Yes.
And to improve our food security.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why now from there now we can now introduce new ideas. Like now when you're having those kids now, that's why we'll be introducing this. Then they grow. They know these are vegetable, not a weed. And then we have now demystified that concept of weeds plant that grow when they are unwanted. Yeah, so that's why I say now we are looking now to the government, the field is we are looking for partnership. How can we work with people? Like what I've done so far, I've done it on my own and it's not been very good. And again, I'm now aging, but now this place is having a lot of potential. And my journey is not complete. We would like now to have like that combating unit. Huh? That now has been taken over by young people. They are producing things that can be served. They can serve.
Yeah. This young man.
We are talking about this young man.
Yeah.
We are talking about these ladies now. We are getting material. They can now add value.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes.
Validation.
So now let me ask you, while we are on this, you get manure. What values do we add? How do we add value to manure?
Yeah.
So that it can be useful.
That's a good thing. What we want to do is to create a healthy soil. I mean, what does it contain? We are talking about those effective microorganisms. What technology is available now? What you are doing a composting now, you can add effective microorganisms to what you are doing.
Yeah.
Indeed. So that now, and that's all things like biojackani. Indeed. It's a good home for harboring those microorganisms. Then we are talking about charging that thing. So now we are starting now with a very, very healthy. It's a living soil. That's what we want to create.
Soil is living.
Yeah, soil, yeah. Soil is living. And there are so many inputs, like when you're doing bocage, and that's a very good question. When you're doing bocage now, we incorporate so many ingredients. Like now we're talking about the so-called things like Plutonium is there, or Russian concrete is there. We are talking about now the termite soil. I mean, it's there. It's a concoction of things that each one has got its own value.
Yes, so just from the manure point of view,
Yes.
I'm just trying to look at now the crop residues.
Yeah.
You've shown us the maize stovers.
Yes.
How do we add value to the maize stovers so that they just don't be like maize stovers, but that it is
but what you do, we carbonize.
Yeah. Yes.
We carbonize and charge it. I mean,
Yeah.
And I'd say like animal trophy, like now you can have
The manure,
the
urine.
I mean urine.
Yeah.
Yeah, urine. Also now there's a potential of plentiful resource. Human urine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Human urea. Like again now in Malawi, it's a great resource. There's an entrepreneur that now trades human urine and got large tank for fermentation. So you bring a urine and then now there's a fixed fee per a 5-liter gallon. And they're using it.
People are already using it.
Yeah. Me also now I keep mine.
But Mzee Mukoko,
Yeah.
Mzee Mukoko, there is in African culture,
Yes.
like if you are here in Western Kenya, for instance, using urine has a lot of perceptions.
Okay.
The human, not the animal. What do you say about that?
That's quite interesting, but we have to take another route. Like I was saying now to Grandma now to in collection of urine using schools that becomes like a part of sanitation program, isn't it? So what you just to come up with a special safe facility that can get it's a partner, then we can come have a very good urinal feeding in a school. I don't know where all the urine now completely collected, isn't it? And then fermented. And then, of course, now it can also be used for charging. I mean, it's not for direct use. You know, we can incorporate in our composting system. So again now, it's now making public awareness. Tell the people now what you are doing is safe. Because when people say like now this food was in Nairobi, it was grown in what in sewage and it's not in it. We have to find a way of not bringing people on board, right? And that experiment will be the best. Starting now.
So just on that, what you're trying to talk, I just want to look at right now, like we have the government fertilizer subsidy. When we get the inorganic fertilizer and we put it is a quick fix for it to produce the yields. Now, because of the effects of the fertilizer, we now want to look at the organics. But if I am going to make manure compost taking so many months, and I want as a farmer a quick fix, what do I do?
That's a very good question. You talk about quick. Now we have got, forms of composting. We have got now the hot compost that will take about 2 or 3 months. Then we have got others what you call more fermentation, and that's why now bokashi. Bokashi will take up to 21 days. And again, to address that issue now, you can now come to what you call there's a word for it. Like you can blend in now organic and organic. That's the way you start now. So at least now we have the quick fix, and then now the organic fertilizer now takes over. People blend. I'm a blend fertilizer. But me, I've been getting away from. You are talking about small scale things that are sustainable. But when you are doing large scale now, we are talking about the monos, and monos is quite a lot of input. Then now we are now heading now to Innovator.
Now, do you think utilizing, say, the schools and tapping all the urine in all the schools, wherever there is, do you think that can serve the large-scale farms?
And again, subject now to start, because now you can use now the Malawi model, because that's why I like, and I travel. I'll give an example. I spent some time in Penn State. Rodell. Are you familiar with the Rodell Institute of Organic
in Malawi?
No, in the U.S., Pennsylvania, a small town called. In a small town in Pennsylvania, in the U.S., we have now this Institute of Organic Farming. And this is where I started now learning the ideas of organic farming. And that was now becoming the birth of, remember now my journey. Because organic farming is a major ingredient of agroecology. So that's why I started now opening up my eyes on that.
So that is where your journey started?
No, my journey started now when I went to wildlife college. And that's what interested me. I was in Tanzania for close to 4 years. And I was in one of the only school in Africa at that time that was training wildlife management. And then we are training different subjects. That's why I say, how do you learn so many things? You must have a capacity to learn as many things as possible. So we did about 14 subjects, you tell me, 14. We are talking about managing natural resources. What does it mean? We are talking about forestry. We are talking about
life.
We are talking about wildlife. We have got natural history. We have got snakes herpetology. We have got bird ontology. We have got animal disease parasitology. We are talking about now. We are talking about law dealing now with the people kill the animals. So the whole we talk about, because sometimes we are posted to marine national park, marine biology. So only they had the best of the students now be able now to accommodate. to put in one head lot of knowledge. So I'm a product of being able not to harness a lot of knowledge.
And then from there you.
And then from there, it was a small college now. We believe now there are about 70 students from all over Africa. All over Africa. Yeah, I was sponsored by the then Kenya National Park. And they only picked the best of the best. I don't say I was the best. I just happened to be there. If I was the best or if I proved my way through, I was not the best. So, and then after training, then I worked in various parts of this country. Like my first station was in the Nakuru National Park in Nairobi. I was in Marsabit. I was in Sibiloi National Park east of Rudolph. I was in Meru. I was in Savo East, Savo West. I was in Kisiti Mwikuti Marine National Park. I was in Kiunga. And then I started now learn the country. For the good knowledge now in a small place with different players. Like we can have a group that just look at the area like Yake. Isn't it?
Yeah.
We have a group that would just identify all these things and now doing trials. Looking at the efficacy of some of our stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, who are they? And it could be Catfish or Carol or whoever, or one of these leading NGOs, or GDZ or whoever. Yeah, I don't just care. Yeah, and then now we are talking about also innovation, because when you move into Vihiga County, there are other Mzee makers there. We don't know who they are. There are many. Can we identify them? What innovation do they have? Can that innovation be supported until it becomes a product? It can even now get its own patent. They are there. And that's the way now we can be able now to grow this country also now, technologically. Yeah. Because the resources are there.
Yeah, we've seen while we were going around, we have also identified one Mzee who is trying his best, but not to the level that you are doing, but is able to look at certain value chains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one Mzee. But now, asking that, there are other, are you in link with other farmers across the
but now there's something now we can be able now to find out, because the others now they are good at a particular thing. Yeah, this is what we now want to find out. Yeah, they are there.
So what I'm saying, do you have other people, do you link to other farmers, could be model farmers or champion farmers in various other counties?
Yeah, now, we only meet during what you call exhibition and expo. That's what we meet them. And I've met a number of them, and I've looked at their challenges. Because you see my role, it's going to be very, very simple. You try to harmonize in the group. Like what they're doing, the so-called bokashi. People are using different, like quackery. People are doing their own thing. What do you want to do to standardize various production procedures? Like when you're doing bokashi combos here, is almost is the same thing as it has got the same strength as the one being produced in Hamis. Yeah, indeed. And then now we have got other people now who are into production of BSF.
Yeah.
And then now you come up now, get all the knowledge on how to do how to produce BSF very well for Azola. Indeed.
Yeah.
And then now that one now can be turned now into a serious enterprise.
As a value chain.
As a value chain.
So because you are Mzee, I don't want you to turn so much. You could just finalize, then we go sit, and then we can make now a discussion.
You are letting me, I can stand for 15 hours.
We don't want to.
I can stand for 15
Yeah, perhaps all of us may not.
Today I'm not a young man.
So can I say young?
To clean up now, just I mean, what can be, I mean, what can be done in terms of partnership.
Yeah.
Specific. I mean, partnership. In line with my vision.
Yeah.
In line with my vision. That I will. I can say craft now. I have research made available. And these are these are some of my ideas now. How can you make use of this as your as your field demo in the using this resource that is available. And this one has value because now I'm not asking you because I've never seen any donor investing in infrastructure. They don't much more what could soft support. But already now a lot of things we have this available. We have the greenhouse. We have to simply clean up. You know, greenhouse is available. We have got a solar dryer. Yeah. So these are the ways. Then I'm going to identify various organizations and what they do, so that whatever you suppose now to be within your area of within your area of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that
Yes.
is that a bit clear?
Yes, I think yes.
See, just look at this. I want to say something now. Look at this. This not. Vinny, you will work alone. What is my Vinny?
The bamboo.
Yeah.
The bamboo.
You will work alone.
Last year.
No, hii ambayo ulikuwa unawekelea na kwa hivi.
Oh,
Not more than one. It's now ready.
that's bamboo.
Yeah.
So on average, for it to fully decompose, it takes. You said
2-3 months is already it's fully combusted. Now there's another thing that I'm very passionate about now. I call myself a gene hunter. And you're talking about biodiversity, which is very key. Like in this part of the world now, they don't have many pumpkin varieties. So you know what I did?
Yeah.
I went to Uganda because Uganda is known for growing pumpkin. Then if you look at, there are different varieties. Now you can never see them. Just look at this. Is it a chance? Look at this.
very different.
This one. You know, you're here. What does you see there? Look at that. Look at that. So I've got now different things. Different varieties. And this again, just look at that.
And are they all from Uganda, or you are collected from different?
These are all I got. I went to Uganda just purposely not to get them.
Wow.
Because I was having only one variety. Remember the big one, the giant one. But that one is not very popular for eating. Then I opted not to have others now that are very popular. In fact, we have had the first harvest. They took them to the market now within how many pumpkins were there? Around 30.
Wow.
They were sold within 1 hour.
Wow. And because I can already see like 4 times. Do you have like an idea of like how many varieties are here?
Now we have we have six varieties.
Oh, okay.
And then now there will come now to remember now maintaining seed ambao now can be able to. If you are working with a group of farmers, you tell them now to remember, I'll train you how to do pumpkin well. I'll give you the seed, but when you harvest, you just get me 2 pumpkins. And then we can now try to address now the market. And so we are aiming per season after 3.5 months, we want to do about 5 tons of pumpkin. You see the way again now we are looking now the putting money into people's things. Look, using your very, very simple idea. What about sweet potatoes? Like now this is my vine, we have harvested lots of potatoes. This orange plant. Can you have now you train people about growing potatoes, what next if we don't have now the planting material?
Yes.
That's a disconnect. Now we want something that flows, that is flawless. Okay?
Yeah, and actually you've mentioned a point regarding there's a disconnect we tend to experience, especially between maybe the farmer and every other actor.
Yes.
So how do you bridge that gap, for instance?
Okay, that's very interesting. Like now, I would like now, let's look at Carlo, for example. Isn't it? So the maintenance of Ramba now, we have got Carlo, we are maintaining city banks. Yeah, it's a good thing, also even in Vihiga County. We have a group that is having a seed bank for indigenous crops. Now, those are kept. Now, what happened now that they are for how long are you going to keep them? You have a special facility to keep them. What about now keeping them ex-seed? Ex-seed just merely planting, so that we have got viable seed all that. It's all we are assigned now to Brahman. Assigned as trials. We are subjected to science. In the sort of Brahman now, what now the biological or the nutritional content of whatever I have.
Yes.
You can do complete analysis. And also trials now, you can have a serious trial of the same. And do it the science way. This is now we do now the English we just simply we behave like herbal. We don't have milk, just drink a bottle full of I've got a farmer whom I've supported. In Paris having 300 too.
Where? Here in
It's just about 5 kilometers.
Wow.
And they are producing very well.
I'm down who processes it.
So so when they produce the fruits, you process it?
Yeah.
So you process it for him and then sell it?
Yeah, no, well, because now the demand is because what you have is not just
Whatever the little, where
you just worry about the market.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about the market. I mean, where do you sell?
That is very just. I remember one time we just put some organic cocoa butter.
Made in Kenya.
Yeah,
made in Luanda.
Made in
Yes.
Rwanda. And the demand was overwhelming.
Wow.
Like now I'm having about 4 kilos now of cocoa.
Yeah.
And you don't know Nairobi goes for about 5,225. Because what they use now for blending, when you see some of those the products you use, it's not cocoa butter, it's just that. You can get those. Yeah. It's just for blending. Yeah, but also I use it now for food. Yeah, because now you see, we have when it comes now to food and oil, we have got some oils which are not very good making. We have got 2 categories of oil. Those that are having what you call a very high burning oil and low. Like now, let's look at things like canola, or we look at now. When you start deep frying, when they get to certain things, when they get to certain temperature, very high temperature, now we have got some very chemical changing. Then they change the whole thing. How it can talk. Not,
It can be toxic.
it can be training.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or it may not be useful.
it might not be used. So now that will go up to about 200 degrees. But you're going now just on high burn point, like avocado and cocoa. They'll go to almost 500. That means very hot.
Very safe.
Very safe. So, and then what are very safe and then I drop them very high. We have taro and I think it is more taro. This one they shoot like they grow like cassava. They have a lot of food. Like this one, even about 10 kilos. Yeah, per plant. Because there are several now, you beat now all over the place. But
So this is taro.
I think it's taro. There is something that is done in the century. Yes. Yeah, this one I got it from. And they do very well at that.
Yeah.
So we are trying now to have look for somebody now can be invest now in what we call organic policy. Now, if we can connect this
this house and the coconut is so the point is looking. Yeah. Because now we are nothing. Good morning.
So is that one of your goals?
Yeah. Now to get somebody now. Somebody who can be able to take up this thing and do it now, make money and give me something. That's all. I'll give you the knowledge, all the knowledge about future, but it matters. Yeah. That's when you get it. That is more than the better. You are things that you can never do. And a good word. When you go wrong, it's not about that. Yeah, and the cuckoos with the hens will be premium, will attract premium price because it is purely organic. Yeah, okay. What people call organic is not organic. No. But this would be pure organic because it's feeding from organically produced plants. Organically produced plants, and everything is organic within the farm. But even now, I think this has been my experience. Like, if you have to buy a farm, that's it. I don't realize that if you don't go down the egg. But remember, the money ilikuwa kubwa. Can you go back now? Why can you have the big eggs? Why can you have the big eggs? Why? That's why we're experiencing like now, Holland, BSF, and that's why again now we want to create now the young entrepreneurs now to produce a poultry feed. They can do Azola, they can do black soldier fly, and again that again now is attached now to managing. You see how we went now to create inter connectivity. Then we got. They are quite popular. Then just people want. So
they come to buy. So like how much you want?
You know, we do about one sheep. Now come and look at it.
Wow, I've never seen such a thing. That is it. Imezidi. Na haina, it is purely.
Yeah. Look at it.
Wow.
That is what now we use. Now, sometimes people use it to do it now as well as
Yes, Mukimo, even nowadays, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Like a leaf or two is like 20 shillings, and it's very small leaves in the market.
Okay.
So this is a.
Yes.
So is it also for sale? Yeah.
No. This is not for using now for
home consumption.
And also now you can make it. But yeah, what start. I mean, for things I can try. What are we calling? What do we call this? No.
Dynamic accumulator.
Dynamic accumulator. That means now that they are deep rooted. And then as grammar now they absorb all the nutrients, all the macron, all macro and macro. And then the